My funny Puzzles and Dragons story is that Ella played Puzzles and Dragons to, like, Tower of Giants.
Sounds dangerous.
No, it was fine, like...
Who am I missing? Oh, Giggles.
PDX, are you doing the camera tonight, or is Cosima doing it, or what's... I guess you're doing it, right? Because...
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'll try and call out where I'm trying to point at. There he is.
What are we actually waiting on right now?
Giggles.
Who the fuck is... okay, whatever.
That's Staros' brother. Alright, we're about to get ready to get started between... We've got a game tonight between the Broadhogs and the Lucy Bros versus Precision Jerk Engineering. A couple people out, so we've got Shadow filling in on the Precision Jerks team and Tag Doodle filling in on the Broadhogs with the incorrect icon. With me tonight, I'm PDX, and with me is Spectre. We're going to be casting the game tonight. And go and get ready to get started, see if both teams are ready to
go. Before we start, if you're one of the teams and you're watching on Twitch right now, like, you should actually close out. Don't fucking ghost people. Like, you can talk after the games, but log out.
Muted.
Yep.
Naru is now unmuted.
You should not be watching it if you're, don't stream tonight. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started with Ilios.
Now arriving.
Yeah, tonight we've got Spect here and me being PDX on casting.
Prepare.
You may occasionally also hear Niru or Nice, but probably limited.
So yeah, this game is going to be kind of a fucking travesty. Honestly, Nicaris's team, which has Megadeth, Mopper, Bird, Shadowed filling in, Tox, and Mr. Giggles, who is, I guess, Storos' brother or some shit. I don't know, whatever. Their team is going to get wrecked. Over on the super duper secret Roadhog team, as you can all pretty much see, they have pretty much their full team, except Tag Doodle is subbing in. They've also got one of the stronger teams in the tournament, because number one, they suck slightly less, and two, most of them have actually played together, because Lo didn't draft like a complete fucking idiot. So anyway, they are obviously going with the tried and true tournament strategy of 6 Roadhog. Oh no, Tayhax betrayed me, son of a bitch. Why? Alright, well, they're going with a normal comp, that's super boring. Anyway, they're gonna get stomped. Expect Shadowed to play Tracer very poorly. He probably won't hit anything. I know you guys wanted us to talk about strategy, but that's stupid. So yeah, he's just gonna die a lot, and that's a strategy, kind of. I mean, you're feeding, so it's old strategy. Anyway, they're getting wrecked right now, though. Genomic already picked off by Shadowed, so making me look bad. There's Zach, good job. These people are like only 30 MMR below skill level, so maybe he can actually kill people.
2 down Bones, Jackson down on Zarya as well. And
Yeah, they're trading pretty evenly still. Blue is up by 1, so they'll probably get it secured. Yeah, Megadeth doing work, just crushing people down the hammer there, so.
Jeff's gonna get picked off here. He went in and he's outnumbered.
Shadow did get an initial good pick on the flank, though. The first kill is very, very important. Genomic already did it again, so, yep, wrecked.
Shadow has ult. Tayhax is at 36%.
So it is worth noting that they did go with slightly different supports. Bird's on Mercy and Genomics on Lucio. Most people favor Lucio on this map because they always dream of getting knockoffs and shit, but honestly, you don't really get a lot of environmental kills when you're relatively close in skill. So Red's pretty much just gonna get wrecked here. And definitely Mercy for this type of a setup is much better. Like, Lucio's don't really do a lot of work on our team, and he's just gonna get hunted down over and over by Shadow.
Giggles has ult here. Let's see if he tries to use it anytime soon.
Yeah, most of Blue's close to ults. They're sitting on ults right now, so they're just gonna stomp for like the next 30%. Red's only chance to take it back will be when they actually load up on ults. Japhonius actually switches off and goes over to McCree. It's probably not gonna do too much work, and Jonald switching off to Winston as well, so they actually just dumped a bunch of ult meter for counters. It's not even really a great counter because Sox is sitting on Reaper, so whatever. Well, I mean, they sort of have an answer now because he swapped to McCree and they still already have a soldier, but tag sucks, so, like, it's not really a reliable fair counter. Like, I know a lot of people think that 76 is, like, some amazing fair counter, but it's only if, like, you have equally skilled players and they don't, so gonna get wrecked until you ult. Anyway, Red doing a little bit of work because they were able to pop up a couple ults. Tag actually hitting stuff because, you know, he had aimbot up, but still gonna get cleaned up. So, pretty easy round 1 for Blue, most likely. They've got, like, one last Hail Mary push, but honestly, it's pretty garbo so far. Wasn't really a very useful switch for them or anything, so they're just getting mocked up. But let's talk about strategy, guys. So what, like, really deep, involved strategy did Blue use here? Like,
They,
shooting people better, I guess.
Yeah, they did more damage than Red Team. I think that was really the key there. And
yeah.
they took less damage than Blue. Yeah.
I consider violence all that.
It's going to overtime, but Giggles used the ult that he held on for the entire game.
Yeah, and Lucio
Heroes
barrier
never
didn't
die.
go off, so it's like, whatever.
Tox clears off the point, and it's going to be it for overtime.
So, as we can see here, Shadowed really sucked it up as Tracer because he's really bad and hasn't actually played a DPS since Overwatch was released. We don't have a tank in our group, so I basically made him play Reinhardt the entire time, so his, like, Tracer experience since live is pretty much, I don't know, like, the last 2 hours of today when he was told he was subbing in. But anyway, as you can see, it really doesn't matter that much here. I'm sure Lode's team will come back with a furious vengeance and 3-0 the fuck out of them, or I guess 3-1 since they technically lost one now. It'll be fine though, because as we all know, Shadowed tier throws, no problem.
Soldier 76 reporting for duty.
Don't just stand around.
So we're on the well here. No, no one's really trying to go for the environmental here. Maybe Giggles.
I mean, Tsunami's still on Lucio for what it's worth, so. And they both sell Pharos.
I do like the strong front line that Megadust team has right now, the blue team.
They're actually getting picked pretty hard, so I don't know. Yep, shot it down.
Yeah.
Even trades so far because Tox also managed to get a pick on tag, but Tax is super low. And he doesn't matter because he picks off 2. So
Blue's
wreck.
down 3.
Everyone,
Red's gonna cap here.
Yep, pretty easy sweep for them. Good picks by Tahax before he died.
Got the tank battle in the back. Back up.
Oh, he's just sitting there without his team, so he actually just gets picked off. It's pretty wasteful. Now this team doesn't have a tank, so they're going to be able to secure probably another like 20%. Can't really shove in on this map just trying to get picks when you don't have a tank. It's too difficult. Too many places to hide.
Come here and get stabilized.
Tahax picks off Shadowed because, you know, it's Shadowed. Yeah, I agree. Tobin's totally talking in Twitch chat right now, and they should give Tahax a mercy, but whatever, YOLO. Far Mercy's clearly an overrated duo. We don't need that at this skill level. We're far too good for that.
Tox picks off John Old.
Yeah, but he's super low.
securing the
Yeah.
Let's
objective.
back off. Birds in the stead too.
Sealed up. Birds.
They can stabilize, they'll be fine.
I'm taking the objective.
I
Converge
knew
on
going
me.
out, but kind of just sitting on it. Gets one,
Yeah.
but gets killed for it, so
Yeah.
pretty wasteful overall. Tahax trying to flank in the back. I mean, he sort of had an exposed Mercy there, but he didn't actually get off a kill, so not really worth anything.
He does get Tox in the knockoff there.
Yep, it's good knockoff there. Red does have a small number advantage right now until Toxin's back, so. But blue is sitting on 4 ults. They've got 3 on red, almost 4.
Bird
He's
falls, and he's their res is down now.
Yeah, but they traded, so I mean, support is worse to lose, but still, fire at will going off.
Oh, good ult by Mopper there. But then he falls off due to the new speed.
Incoming.
Oh, Monkey ult doing so much work.
Giggles gets one, but gets picked off. And red recaptures there.
I'm really glad that the double knockoff was captured so nicely on stream there. That's amazing. Excellent emoting by Jonald, showing his true monkey superiority.
Contact.
Did there any Lucio knocks yet?
Nope,
No.
he just keeps getting dumpstered.
Interesting strategy.
Genomics probably not the
it's-
strongest player on their team.
It is an interesting strategy. So they pick off 2 real quick though, so red's probably about to lose a point. They need some really excellent picks here if they want to hold. They're probably just gonna give it up.
Incoming.
Desperate
Tahax.
Tahax ult there, kills Megadeth.
Heroes
Red doesn't
never
get anybody
die.
else.
Res
Bird
on-
insta single reses him. That's kind of really questionable. 2 of his teammates are really low right now. May not be the best choice.
He needs to get over to Tox. Tox is trying to 2-1.
This is probably not the finals for VD because Yiska's team is stronger. Keep in mind that Shadow's only subbing for this team.
So you're saying they're normally a better team?
I'm saying that as bad as Zach is, other people on the team are significantly worse.
Securing the
Bones gets knocked into the pit. Tags ult doesn't do anything. And let's see if Jeff
Pioneer
gets
going
anyone.
out. Let's see if he picks anybody off.
I don't expect
If he
anything
turns
out
to
of
the
this.
side, he can pick off Tox, but that's about all he's gonna get.
He
Nope,
cancels
not
it.
even. Yep. I mean, when you high noon right in front of a Reinhardt shield, that's I'm supposed to say like mean and sarcastic things, but I'll just say that that's not a ideal, you know, situation to be in. Anyway, last hurrah for Red here. Ooh, Bird gets picked off there. No Zenyatta ult or anything to save him. Zenyatta too busy shooting and PQing.
Incoming.
Pretty ineffective far ult there from Giggles. Just gets picked off. Doesn't get anybody with barrage, so very wasteful. But Blue still managing to hold for a second.
You chose to do it right after Lucio.
Yeah, shit's hard. Shadow picking off Lucio, so now they're down to support. He throws pulse bomb,
Heroes
gets
never
nobody.
die.
Hammer gets one, but not very good. Fire at will gets one.
Jeff Maye, get
Just
somebody
walks
here.
right out of it.
Clearing the area. Everyone
Picks off Fox out of Wraith form, but that's it. They should still get this in theory.
Yeah, the only Bird and Giggles left up, but they pick off Jeff.
Bird fucking picks off Jeff. That Mercy pistol, so good.
This
Yeah, they
yeah, that overtime clock is just falling out so quick. They don't stay on the point, it's gonna get lost immediately.
I mean, they're still on the point. That's not the issue. It's just whether they win the fight or not. Shadow and Bird both get picked though, so they'll they should be able to take it here.
Nice knockoff by Doc.
Very good
Tax.
knockoff on Minidoes there.
Tactical visor activated.
Tax doing work, carrying his team on his back.
Clean
That should
sweep.
probably be it for Red. They Blue's only got one ult, Tox's ult, and he hasn't been doing all that well, so probably
Bones
barely
pushed
get
up
a touch.
to block him from coming back here.
Yeah, but Tank's pushed up. They could still theoretically get a touch of burst faster.
No.
Nope. Rip. Shadowed technically on the point at the very end there, but rocket boosters. Are you talking about the knockoff?
1-1.
Concussive blast, or do you actually just mean his jumps?
His hops?
They carry quite a load.
He's
Very
talking about
good.
the knockback.
Yeah, it's impressive. But anyway, yeah, Tayax doing work for his team. 1-1. Still think they should switch off Lucio, but whatever. Like, Tayax is by far the better Pharah. You should always support your Pharah if it's good, because, yeah, Mercy Pharah. Yeah, I got it after. It was just a bad joke. Anyway. Yeah, pretty similar comp still. Nothing really gonna change up here. Kinda question the Zenyatta pick. It's pretty crummy, honestly, but whatever. I know people are like, oh my god, Zenyatta got buffed, 50 HP and his ult's like usable now, he's so good. It's like, you still have to hit stuff to do damage with him, sorry.
Well, yeah, and you, the comp
Tag
that
gets
they
picked
got,
up instantly, so...
he tried to flank. Soldier flanks aren't ever gonna really work out that well.
If you're good, they're actually not bad. You just have to actually be good. So,
Yeah.
This one's
not
mine.
gonna happen. Talk's doing work though, getting 2 picks there. Oh my god.
I did not get that one on the stream, but I heard it.
Yeah, blue
Right
gun wrecked.
inside, yeah.
Talk's actually, I mean, to his credit there, he got a lot of picks for his team, but everybody else on his team did absolutely nothing, so they still lost the point there.
Securing the objective.
They can fight over it a bit now, it's 2v2, but Zarya is probably a lot better in a 2v2.
Yep.
The rest of their team is filtering in though, because they did die like a couple seconds earlier, so...
No, stream can see what you said.
It's like, whatever, I don't care. YOLO. Yeah, Shadow picking off too. Finally trying to be somewhat useful there. Must be hard for him.
I think Blue might capture it here, but they're gonna have to take out Bones, and they haven't been able to do that very well.
Oh no, they
Oh,
capture.
see what Jeff can do.
He got wrecked.
Oh,
They got 2 picks. Like, they totally can get it.
Tranquility.
Tayax flanking in the back again. Nobody really dealing with him. Giggles is trying, but just missing rocket after rocket.
Yeah, it's not
There
good.
he goes.
Watch out.
Tag playing that very sexy melee soldier. Very good strategy, guys.
Point there.
Just FYI. You have to unfortunately give credit to Zach there for getting the initial 2 picks, because that's what swung the momentum for them to actually capture the point in the first place. The rest of the team wasn't doing jack shit. Jeff's desperational, also only picking off 1, so
I
it's
kind
not
of
very
expect
useful.
Giggles to try and ult here once they push in a little bit more further. He's gonna flank around pretty soon, I think.
They still have a really good hold. They're sitting on 5 ults, so even with Shadow dead, they're pretty secure. Genomic's not staying alive long enough to even get barriers off, so it's pretty easy for them to just hold.
Tox uses his ult and gets 1. Seems like not a great use there.
I mean, it's not the best use, but they're holding right now, so whatever. Like, 1-to-1 ults are usually never a good idea, but they have the advantage. I would just push it. Don't make mistakes. John just managed to run in the back, pick off Zenyatta, but it's the only pick they got, so they're basically reset and it's gonna sit on 6 ults, so they can shove here.
Damage increase.
So, you might think it looks a little dire for them because they don't have position and they're getting picked here, but they do have ult advantage. It's
Yeah.
just the problem of using barrier versus res. Res is much easier to use, especially at this level.
I've reached the
So,
objective.
as long as Bird doesn't get dumpstered in one of the high two. And to be fair, that's actually a strategy point to go over, is like when you kill the Mercy and stuff like that. Megadeth getting dumpstered pretty hard there. High Noon being useless again, just getting picked instantly.
And Red picks it at the point.
Heroes never die.
Single res, and then they pop.
Ooh, really big combo there. But, I mean, they're used to playing together, so that's not too much to say.
Alright, that's gonna reset them quite a bit. Only Shadow, it's close, and Giggles.
Yeah, Shadow and Giggles have ults. Like, you can definitely do something with them, but they don't have the same level of coordination. That's why it's perfectly worthy for Red to just sack, like, 30-40%, wait for 6 ult. Because they have the coordination advantage. You know you can guarantee getting the point back with Wombo combo and a barrier. Problem was Genomic just kept getting picked over and over again, but he finally didn't. And look what happened, they wiped the point. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I think they probably need to have that res as you said on Red Team.
Yep. I mean, like, it would help them a lot more, but the desire to play Lucio because it's so easy to heal on him versus, like, having to actively heal on Mercy is very appealing to really low. But even in, like, low-mid, Mercy can do a lot of work, so it's definitely worth using. Blue with their last Raw here actually doing quite a bit of work, but still not enough. High Noon actually going off and using the Chaos. Probably not going to pick anybody, maybe Shadow to V peaks, but probably not.
There goes Shadow.
Yep.
And the Roadhogs go up 2-1. And your prediction of them going 3-1 is looking to be a little bit closer.
It's a really tough prediction when they troll round 1 and then start actually playing in round 2. Like, they have the stronger team. People just... Oh wait, nobody can see my chat, thank God. Okay. Yeah.
Remember your training,
There's,
and we'll get through this
some
just
stuff.
fine.
I mean, the teams are working and coordinating their deep strategies, so we should, you know, stuff. Yeah, emotes.
Well, there's
Definitely no internal trash talking going on, because that would be rude.
There's a subtle indication of what the stream is seeing right now, of the opinion of the streamers.
Yeah. Anyway, back to wall again. So, yep, having the better Pharah on this map, pretty good. You guys kind of should keep an eye on Teax as he picks off Shadowed immediately, like in the opening seconds of the game.
Genomic goes down quick as well.
Yeah, Janon's getting dumpstered again, but Janon's getting into the back lines and picking off Zenyatta, so they still have an easy numbers advantage here. So Red takes the point, it's no problem.
Tox swapped off onto McCree too instead of the Reaper. I think it's a little bit better, but I mean it's still going to be difficult. I mean this map is not conducive to his ult, so it's kind of there are a lot of easy ways to block line of sight to avoid getting hit by that.
Bad guys, heads up.
Seems to be much better, McCree.
Oh, that's pretty even, I would say. He was
He's
getting
doing pretty well.
He was getting decent picks. Like his non-ult kills were actually very good. He just didn't have any like good flanks or big ults or anything, and people take more notice of that. But he was actually doing work and getting some picks.
Tox does have his ult ready.
My ultimate
See
is
if he
almost ready.
any way that he can get a good use out of here.
The best is honestly using Chaos when people aren't just paying attention to you and they don't have like a Reinhardt to block it or anything. So
He goes low and picks off Tehax though, which is
yeah, they got 2 picks. Shadow immediately picking off Donald right after, so it's a good pick for them. Red's actually sitting on ults now, but they're getting good pushed off the point here.
That was a great ult by Tox right there, and he picks off a third.
That's how it's done.
Actually, I think it was a little over aggressive, but he got kills, so it's always good.
My ultimate is ready.
Anyway, Red's gonna be walking back with 4 ults. They've got they don't have Tehax's barrage, but they have any other ult to combo off of basically.
If they can get Megadeth down, they'll be able to combo Jeff and Bones with a very strong ult.
Move back.
Yep.
And you kind of see what that's what they're doing right now. Jomel's going after Megadeth really hard. He's going to try and knock him off somehow here.
No, he just knocks him.
Jeff gets
Jeff
3.
with a really big high noon there. Kind of makes up for all the other wasted high noons. Barrier going out, catching everybody but Jeff, but it's honestly pretty unnecessary after the triple high noon. That alone is pretty much just GG.
Giggles has ult and Bird and Mopper, but I mean, I would, yeah, actually in this situation, I'd probably drop Mopper for a higher DPS target. but it's gonna be too late for them to swap at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird desperation play. You usually don't want to swap to a support when you're losing, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Megadeth trying to make up, but he gets picked off, and there are 3 covering the main entrance. Talks
Yep.
it over, and he's probably gonna get the point, but I think he's.
No, I mean, he can get a touch, but they're not going to get anything. They have 2 flankers alive, but,
Bad
like, the rest of their
guys,
team is
heads
getting
up.
sealed up by, like, Tay-Hacks and Load, so there's just
Yeah.
no point. You don't take a thing with just 2 flankers, unless your flankers are so much better they can, like, 2v1 everybody, and they're not going to do that, so...
And that's definitely not
Heroes
Shadow.
never die.
In his defense, like I said, he's got, like, 2 hours of Tracer played in the last few months, so he's definitely not doing any flanker carrying on his own there.
Yeah.
Also, the massive amount of whining coming to me in the tells leads me to believe that that's not doing so well. Oh, I mean, that's definitely not happening, guys.
That's a great
I
round.
promise. There's nothing but positive things and love messages from Tiggs. So obviously you get to see the triple high noon there. I'm glad he finally got a good one, because his other ones were pretty mediocre.
So,
but that
bro-
was totally a game-turning one, so good for him.
Broadhog goes up through 1-0 in the series
Yep,
between.
1-0 in the series.
And they take it 3-1. So next up we'll see whether or not they want to go with Gibraltar or Kings Row.
But I'm sure the other there's absolutely no trash talking intels going on right now, guys. I just want you guys to know that. And oh, Cosimo, that's an excellent question, and I would love to answer that. So the reason is because the other guy last night was Shadowed, who is playing the very mediocre Tracer that you can all see on stream. And I am clearly a much better and awesomer is a word, by the way.
Also
awesomer
much more
Tracer.
attractive.
And much more attractive. So
You
that's
have more
why
of a
my
white
voice
voice
is
than he does.
sexier. I think I have a more white voice than pretty much all of the white people on our forums. But anyway, yeah. Pretty good stuff. I guess Load's team is trying to get a sub right now or something. I don't know, maybe they have a problem. There is a little bit of avatar distortion in the ranks, so perhaps that is a thing.
I feel like it's the Avatar.
They're trying to get Cosimo in.
I don't know who Unkriona is, but I mean, at one point he was a slightly less mediocre Tracer, if that sounds okay. But, you know, he just hasn't played him in forever. Malium is totally Mexican, but when did that come up? I don't think anybody else knows Jeff's name in here. I haven't really been reading chat that much, though. He just acts really white. But he's like half Hispanic or whatever.
Well, Cosimo's not going to be able to change his avatar until we get into the actual game.
Wait, why are they subbing out Tag? Is Tag leaving or something?
Tag was actually the top of limbs for that team, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know about that, but
He
maybe.
got the card.
I mean, okay, a limb's so important, very
Yep.
much good.
Yep. They could be making a horrible mistake.
Probably.
Okay, well, this won't be an eternal dumpster fire or anything.
Well, now Load's team only has 3 people who main Pharah.
Well, no, Cosimo does.
I mean,
as
it's
well.
less about maining Pharah and more like getting a team of people who've all played together before, like, extensively, but sure.
Prepare
Yeah,
to
pretty much.
attack.
I really hope they employ the 6 Roadhog strategy. Oh yeah, we should talk about strategy more. So yeah, my group strategy on this is to run with 1 Reinhardt, 1 Mercy, and 4 Torbjorn on offense. It has worked for us 100% of the time when we have executed that really deep and impressive strategy, so clearly it must be a good strategy. It definitely doesn't have anything to do with the fact that my friend thinks that Pirate Torbjorn is really cute and insists on playing him all the time, especially on offense. It is because it is a good strategy. So, yeah, strategy is very important in this game, and it doesn't have anything to do with, like, vast amounts of team disparity skill. It's all because one team has a better strategy than the other. And you're definitely not ever confusing strategy and tactics, because nobody on our forums would ever make that mistake. Anyway.
Great points there. I can see where you're being very consistent.
So a little bit of a
Torbjorn
switch
has
up
trouble.
for Load's team. Donald going ahead and picking up Zenyatta, so they're going with triple support here. Cosmo on Mercy, and Genomic playing Symmetra, although you could argue that Symmetra's like a half support because, you know, she just shields and laughs at you when you need a heal. But it is pretty good because if you're actually going to play up front here, it is a pretty long run back. Honestly, if they had any respect for the team, they'd probably be playing the server room, but who gives a fuck about that strategy? Fuck that shit. Just YOLO and smash them in the face because your team is like way better and you can do that.
Let's keep it moving.
Anyway, Shadow trying to desperately flank on top of, you know, Zarya shield because that always works out well. Mopper already losing the suit, so that's a good strategy because as we know, you know, the true power of D.Va is out of her suit, so Shadow picking off Tayhawks though, pretty good job there.
Those pistols
Team
are very,
Giggles managed to
very,
flank.
very tough to face.
Donald eating up Megadeth, but Donald just eating up tanks left and right. Look at that shit.
Well, the
Two flankers did get the high ground though. Giggles getting kind of wrecked there.
the Symmetra turrets are really what we're doing their work there. It's taking off Thox as well.
Yep, and Shadowed in the back doing what Tracers do and just trying to harass people as much as he can. Get some picks. Not going to be able to do enough work for his team though.
Genomic's going to get the teleporter up. It might get destroyed immediately. He's got two down there that are just chasing him.
They've got four kind of in the area guarding it. I don't think it'll get blown up right away. But they are letting them shove up pretty comfortably there, so.
Get too far back to the fence here.
Well, it's not that they stayed pretty far back. Like, Shadow did some work, he pulled them all back. If you have to pull 4 people back to deal with the flanker, your team lost. That's why you didn't take positions for a room in the first place. Now they just get dumpstered because they got outflanked. It doesn't look like he did much. Like, it looks like Visor just got a triple kill, but that's not it. It's because he pulled him back. You pull him back, you let the smoker get some picks. It does a lot.
They're going to get B here.
Whole top of gas station. Dude, seriously, serious strats, man. Route 66, no problem. You always see those stupid pugs, like, getting picked, like, in the fucking first hallway, and then they lose the point, and they're like, what the fuck happened? Strats? What are strats?
Genomic swaps to Reaper.
Yep. No point in staying on Symmetra, so that is actually a good swap, for better or worse.
Yep.
I have found the
He lost the teleporter, didn't get any. He had one person go through, but it wasn't enough to keep defend.
I mean, it was way too late.
Yeah.
They streamlined death, and so is the worst.
They're getting a good push out of it here. But the blue team is trying to cover the high ground. They've got Bones and Jeff and their Mercy all sitting up there. They just don't have anyone on the payload that can really contest.
How's the motor?
Big firewall there. I need getting a good combo, killing 3. And then pretty much stopped the push dead cold right there.
Yeah, and their
Shadow
Mercy's
finally getting Jonald down, but took a long time on that flank.
Mega keeps still pushing the cart though. There's only but he's,
Yeah, but Bones can just contest. It's not really a big deal. I actually think it's in their best interest to contest it right there and not try to run so much further up.
I think Mopper probably needs to swap off the D.Va and
That was
go
a
for
strange
something.
rocket barrage.
Well, it puts him out of phase with the rest of his team, which
He was
means
going to die anyway.
yeah, but I mean, it's still he's going to be able to recharge that ult pretty quickly with just how little they're contesting that Pharah.
Taex actually switches off to Mai, by the way, so that's not really going to happen. He burned the ult because he was swapping. Anyway, Red is literally full loaded with 6 ults here, so gonna be able to get an easy shove in. Pretty early monkey ult over there, High Noon going out again, so watch out for that. Visor gets one, High Noon gets another. Doesn't seem like much for ults, but again, 2 picks is 2 picks, so they're able to shove up here with all their ults.
And Rez,
Rez coming out, yep.
did he
But
just
it
get
doesn't
one?
really matter.
Ooh, let's see if
I
he
think he
can
only
get it.
just got one, but it doesn't really matter because Red is still sitting on 3 ultimates, including their own res. They're going to be able to push it up. Jeff does actually pick off Bird, though. And that's kind of the problem when your Mercy is the first one to get picked off, but there's still 5v3, so it's whatever.
But think of the next point anyway, and he's going to res right here. Bird reses at the next spawn, so he's quick to get back into the fight. At the very least.
Let's party up!
Yeah, I will address something that Tobin mentioned in chat. They aren't running a Reinhardt on blue. Load definitely mains Zarya, but somebody else should be picking up a Reinhardt. I definitely agree with you, but they just generally don't run it. They're always like a Zarya plus other bruiser call.
Damn it.
I think it's a mistake as well, but...
John has a
strategy's
lot of
strategy.
experience on that Reinhardt. I'd also seen Cosimo on there quite a bit as well.
Yeah, they have people who can play it.
Fire at will!
We'll see
Big
what they
Fire
do.
will coming in here. They got a 4-man, so
Oh, but Mopper is
should
able
be a pretty
to.
easy wipe. They got the Tehax 3-4 people. Shadowed with the attempted defensive
never
pulse
die.
bomb there. Bird getting the res off though, so he gets both his students back up. Genomic with like the most YOLO-y Reaper ult ever, so he gets completely wiped out there. It was just awful.
Giggles visor
Red
down
actually
to
able
Bird.
to shove off of that pretty well, so like credit to Bird for getting the double res, totally countering what little of the wombo combo they managed to get off. The problem there is that even though Tehax did get a good 4-man freeze, they weren't able to capitalize on it. Like, hilariously enough, defensive pulse bomb and having no actual burst ult doesn't allow them to wipe the team, even though Load got a fucking 4-man grab bomb, which on any other team would just be a full wipe.
Till
Cosmo with the
Valhalla!
res on Genomic.
Yeah, it's pretty much a waste, honestly.
Yeah, I would have saved
I'm
it.
gonna hold anyway.
Red backs off, and they should probably regroup. They've got plenty of time, but you'll have to put up a strong defense. Shadow with a nice.
Enemy C!
Well, he gets 3, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
He
But
did get 3 eliminations.
I'm calling it one.
I'm gonna call it 1, too, because that
Fire
definitely
at
counts
will.
as a negative.
Yeah, this is gonna
Another
be
big
dangerous.
fire at will from Load.
The shield's
but
over.
again, no bursts. Well, the shield is whatever. Any like flanker with a burst DPS ult can just like flank around the shield. It's not the shield that saves them. It's just,
Giggles with a huge ult there, and then allows them to
Yeah.
push him in.
I mean, they're
340.
just shoving because they have nobody up. It's not, you know, it's not really hard to pick off when your team is like 6v3.
Switching
It's just again like
score.
Load is getting these huge like 4-man grabs and
Switching sides.
Yeah, I got 340 on that, so that's close.
don't you ever call Shadowed anyone's best player ever again, please. Okay, I want that man banned from chat.
Who said that? Tag?
That was Tag Doodle. Please kick ban him. I absolutely refuse to have this slander and heresy in our hallowed Twitch chat.
Perhaps his argument that by swapping tag out, Shadowed runs, uncontested.
Deleted.
Well played. Anyway, pretty samey comp. Mopper actually starting out on Lucio here, so...
I wonder if I left anything in my locker
I
here.
feel good about the GMG pick.
Alright, so they've got
Genji's a
Megadeth.
beast!
I was not sarcastic.
Bring back
is now muted.
Overwatch.
It's hard to
Mech
tell,
is
I'm
now
sorry.
unmuted.
Anyway, Jonold actually picking up a Reinhardt here, so they have a much more traditional comp. Solo support, but solo support is perfectly fine on this map. We run it all the time, so all good.
What do you think about the double support on the red team?
I think double support is fine. It's also very standard. We, again, personally run solo support, especially for the first checkpoint, but we run it for the whole time, so I'm slightly less a fan of it, but that's just a personal preference. I think if their team actually runs 2 support, it works out fine. And I don't think Mopper is a particularly effective DPS, so like an AFK Lucio is slightly better than AFK DPS. So I think in that sense, it is a good choice for their team. Shadowed and Tox are doing the bulk of their damage anyway, and honestly, Megadeth does some work when he's actually able to hammer people. They're taking kind of an interesting position here, too. They're sort of seeding and going to basically the server room. They've got like a couple of forward people, but beyond that, they're pretty much holed up there, so pretty much means they just sub in the first point.
I think Shadow's giving one of your secret strats.
It's really not that much of a secret if anybody's watched like a single competitive or tournament game above like 30, but that's probably not most of our forum given what people posted for the rankings, so... Anyway, Shadow getting a huge pick off on Genomic there, and as a solo support that's big. Giggle's also picking off Jeff, and then there's just cleanup here, so... I mean, it's kind of whatever. That pretty much will stop the first push right dead cold, so... They're just gonna go ahead and regroup on offense, I would expect. Or stay forward and try to get picks and get picked off and die one by one. That's also a valid strategy, I suppose.
Chip gets picked off in the back.
Yeah, okay.
Tehax is pretty low as well.
Guess I gave him a little too much credit. That was
Not a
honestly
good
pretty
start.
retarded, but
I could
alright.
start this flanking with him.
Shadow's doing work on the
Well,
Reinhardt too.
Got a lot to
Yeah,
learn.
well, I mean, he's in the back flanking and harassing them like you should be doing, which is perfectly acceptable. It's mostly I question that they're like still splitting their team. Like you just back off at that point. Really not a lot to say about that.
Tox is going up here for an ult pretty quickly. He gives away his position, which ruins the ability for him to get an ult there.
Ready.
Yeah, Zach's still doing good harass in the back though. Pulls load off of the load off the payload, so hopefully his team can do some work. Mischarge there, and Shadow picks off Tehax, so that pretty much stops their push dead cold again.
I'm just gonna say, I think they should have kept tag.
I don't know. I don't think Cosima's the reason they're losing right now, but sure. Let's imply they should have kept tag.
Yeah.
He is rank 63, which is the highest person who I think signed up for this tournament, so you guys keep that in mind. Anyway, decent grab bomb coming out here. They do get 3. Again, though, the burst DPS is a little bit slow there, so just no follow-up ults, and Giggles with a huge quadra might actually earn him play of the game there.
Shadow
But
with
yeah,
him.
Visor cleanup here is pretty huge.
And they've got a good hold here too. If they don't get the point soon, they're gonna be running out of time quickly.
Yep, pretty much. And yeah, all the people commenting in chat, like, you should listen to people like Zorops or like Tobin who've known me for over a decade, because this is extremely restrained. I'm
quite
actually
nice
not
tonight.
allowed to be mean. Morgan is 5 feet away from me, I can't curse that much. Anyway. Megadeth going in with kind of a YOLO charge there, doesn't pick anybody off, but there's no immediate follow-up on him, so it doesn't really matter. Gunnar just kind of swinging away there. Shadow
this is-
just doing super work back there, picking up
Heroes
stuff.
never die.
Just getting
Res
lower
going
flanking.
off though, so
Going into outcast.
bit of a recovery. Blue is still winning this push initially though. Oh, Lloyd gets picked off. Mega shoving him away with a charge. It's pretty great. Running really low on time here. Genomic picked off before he could get the res. That was the big turner for them. If he had managed to get in range for the res, I had them really good for being able to shove this, but now it's totally over.
Chip tries to do desperation, he gets picked off quickly.
Yeah, that's they're just wasting the sword at that point. There's just fucking no point. Like, it's super yellowy.
Step right up.
Talks with the zoning high noon here, I guess is what I'm gonna call it. Step right up, friends.
And he's still muted on the shield too.
Yeah, it's already over. There isn't enough time for them to finish, even if they just like bomb. But let them play it out. Don't say anything. Well, I mean, they shouldn't be reading chat anyway. But yeah. No, I mean, I just totally don't want to talk shit like everybody else is a community member here, and like everybody who makes mistakes and fucks up and stuff, and this is all just for fun. Hey, you don't need to go full ham on people. Anyway, Teax getting a pick there with his barrage, so Blue's actually shoving up quite well. They got 3 picks. Teax only won with the barrage, but picks off Moffer almost right away, so they will at least get the checkpoint. Probably not enough time for them in general, but at least they won't just lose on CP2, so that's decent. And yes, we do stopwatch in case anybody was curious there. Teax getting picked off by Giggles, who's just super low. That really wasn't even his fault. Like, people are just not getting topped off after picks. And apparently Shadowed is causing drama. It's so hilarious because, like, you guys have to know that, like, Zach was actually one of our main DPS when we were playing in beta, but I straight up quit and made everybody stop playing for like 3 months, so he hasn't even touched Tracer in almost half a year. He's really, really bad on her now, but anyway.
They have to get to the next checkpoint within a minute and capture within a minute.
Yeah, it's over already because you have to understand how much time it takes them to actually shove, even if they just get like full team wipes over and over. Anyway. Teax went over the top, tried to do some flanking work on Reaper, and just try to focus and talk about the game, but he ends up getting picked off. Shadow, of course, killing another 2 people because YOLO skill levels here. I mean, we should totally do this by competitive ranking, guys. I should note that Shadow's competitive ranking is actually on par with a lot of the people who signed up for this tournament, so it's totally not unfair that he is ringing right now. And not just because I, again, made everybody play 10 placement games and then stop, because that would be unfair. Oh, wait. So anyway, just a cleanup crew here. Pretty hilarious. Talks again with kind of a zoning high noon, but does get one, so sure, that's something. They're just sort of spamming ults and cleaning up at this point. They probably already know it's over by stopwatch anyway, so people are kind of just whatevering.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with Tobin. Shadow is not the only reason they're losing. Like, he's definitely doing a lot of work as a flanker, though. It's not just about the kills, it's about making them turn around and pull back. To be fair, if you've been watching any of their games, it's just not something people have done because they haven't actually had to deal with a strong flanker.
No, they really haven't. This is the first game that we ever had something that can actually go through and...
If you guys had to actually deal with, like, the main flanker on our team, like, again, Shadow is our fucking tank, like, it would just be a nightmare, which is part of the reason why we didn't have anybody sign up, because it would have been just hilarious. Tobin doesn't play with us, Zoro.
Yeah,
I don't think I played with Tobin once, not even in beta.
I played with him one game and then he didn't want to play with me ever again.
Fire at will.
Tobin too good for me. We could only play when we were bad together in Sub C. Anyway, fire at will going off. They only get 2, but they're enough to shove, so...
Heroes never die.
Oh, and Heroes Never Die going off. Oh, Shadow getting 2 of the pulse bomb. Hilarity. Oh, res right on top of it. The agony is real. He's still gonna get the checkpoint, but
yeah.
It was pretty funny if I just get rezzed into a pulse bomb. Wicked sick.
Tactical visor activated.
Oh, nice pin there by Megadeth. Just like wait until the door's open, picking off load right away. Good stomp there. Anyways, you guys can see what we were talking about, the stopwatch, you know, even though they capped the 3rd checkpoint there, you can see that there isn't even enough time on the timer. We might as well just let them play it out though, that way you guys can see like play the game and stuff like that. It's only 2 minutes, so no reason not to do that. Get to watch that sick quadra visor probably. It's my bet.
There's
Tech.
Heroes never die.
No, bird with the res.
Bird with the res right on top of the fucking reroll. Just crushing dreams.
Yeah, that's gonna be play the game right there.
I don't think so, actually. I don't think a 3-man res beats a 4-man quad.
Well, I think it's 4.
You think he got a 4-man res? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe. I wasn't watching him. He could have entirely. I've honestly been kind of checked out since it was a stopwatch loss already.
Yeah.
If it's a 4 res, that's definitely play the game. But 3 res versus a quadra kill is really close with their math.
Bird's out of position. He's gonna die.
Push off.
One's mentioning Anna.
I mean, there's also a Bastion, but who cares? Like, they already know they lost on stopwatch, that's why he swapped.
That's just bad manners to swap to Bastion at this point in the game when they've already won.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's any more BM than, like, teabagging people or emote spamming them. Like,
That's
you
actually
get
good
what you
point.
get.
Ooh, nope, Shadow goes for the play of the game.
No, if it's a 4 res, it beats a 4 pulse bomb. I just didn't think it was a 4 res, so...
We'll see what we get.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I mean, a 4 pulse bomb is pretty clean, and it does a bit more damage, so you'll see. But it's kind of whatever.
Tactical visor activated.
Now, Booze is apparently saying it was a 4-man res, so I guess we'll see in 20 seconds who's right, but yeah.
Enemy contact.
Anyway, yeah, Shadow definitely did work with the flanking in the back there, just making them turn their heads and harassing and pulling the load off of the payload, but I will agree with Tobin and say that was the only reason they lost, but it is kinda dumpstery when you're second stringing with some ringers and not others, so...
I will again say they swapped off tag. That was a mistake.
I will make no comment except that, oh yeah, see, Pulse Mom wins. I really still question if it was a 4 res, but we can always go back and watch the video.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are right, but yeah, Pulse Mom hilarity. He walked back into that for the record, and they definitely stopped caring at this point, so it's like, you don't give him too much credit for that.
No.
But the early flanks were definitely very good, picking off like 1 or 2 every time and just making everybody turn around and deal with him. It wastes a lot of time, and people are always like thinking about big kills and huge team wiping ultimates in this game. The game is just about time. Time is your one resource. All the other resources you have to deal with time. So it is just like anytime you make people pull off the payload, just turn around and deal with a single tracer, or fuck, dump four man, like into the fucking, like, side server area. That's just, that's awful. If you need 4 people on your team to deal with a Tracer, you basically lost already. It's disgusting. No, now Load's team gets to pick the map, so they'll have a choice between King's Row or King's Row. We'll see what they pick.
That's correct.
Should be pretty interesting.
And Precision Jerks Engineering ties up the match with 1-1, each getting 1 map. There's going to be a deciding with King's Row as the final one.
Well played by Load there. Some deep strategy with King's Row pick. I definitely like that for their team. They're much stronger on King's Row than on Gibraltar.
Alright, I'm going to take a quick break for them to allow the players to do what they need to do, I guess.
The worst part about this, if Load's team doesn't actually win, is that Shadowed will just be increasingly more arrogant. So I'm really, really betting on and hoping that, what is this? Broadhog and the LdSUIebfC are able to pull this one out, because like the last thing we need on the forums is for Shadowed's ego to grow even a fucking little bit. So please, everybody at home, let's all use our like Twitch karma Yahweh powers or whatever, and just like everybody just pray together and hope that Shadowed throws, because that is what Shadowed tier is all about.
Reminds me, I do need to make it so that Tag can only spectate Team 1.
Luckily, Shadowed's ego doesn't impact me at all, because we wouldn't have stayed friends for this long if it bothered me even remotely. For the rest of you, I just, you know, pray souls, but, yeah.
Also helps that you're not really friends with him.
I mean, by your metric of seeing people, I guess I'm just not friends with anybody, because all I'm trying to do is be the very best space ninja that ever was.
It's a laudable goal.
I tried my hand at Space Ninjury. I could do it. I can hack it.
I don't know, man. Parkour is pretty difficult. I'm only saying that for booze, by the way, but I guess Tor's in here too, never mind. Yeah.
Do you basically take your payday crew to Warframe?
Yeah, essentially. Shadow taunting them with subbing Tag back in. I definitely think that is a superior strategy. If you look at the score, it's pretty obvious. 100% win rate with Tag Doodle on their team, less than 100% win rate without Tag Doodle. So, I mean, clearly, you know who the MVP on LdSUIEbfC and Broadhogs or whatever stupid ass name they picked is. Like, gotta get your master ringer in. I mean, I'm just waiting for Bacon with a controller to bring the Sushi's team out of the ashes and just fucking wreck face.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
That's right, guys. Stats don't lie. Sample size is everything. Math doesn't lie. Thank you, Tag. I'm very impressed you managed to spell all that relatively correctly.
I was expecting an LYE there.
I was just not expecting him to spell spec correctly. I mean, it is 4 letters. But anyway, I'm proud of you either way. You did good, man. You led your team to victory. They just don't appreciate your greatness. Don't listen to the first half where I trash talk you like immensely the entire time while you just kind of walked into melee range with Soldier and died repeatedly, because I didn't mean any of that, honestly. So
Triple tank.
Some very trolly picks here from the offense that they're definitely not going to sit on. It would be really awesome, honestly, to see like a double Ana and fucking best Widow NA over here. Shadowed, by the way, has about 7 minutes played on Widowmaker, so that would be just fucking awesome to watch. But that shit's not going to happen.
On the double Winston and Zarya is an interesting pick there.
Yeah, I mean, double Winston's pretty good, honestly. Like, Tox has actually been playing a lot of Reaper, but a single Reaper is not quite enough to down both Winston's and a Zarya shield, so...
I'd like to make an important correction. Shadowed has 19 minutes on Widow.
Holy shit, 19 minutes? That was probably 12 minutes of, like, practice and, like, a random quick play game that I didn't know about then. Anyway, so yeah, they're pushing out here. Shadowed obviously switching back to Tracer because that's just a troll. Interesting setup for defense team. We should mention at least that they have a Symmetra. I mean, Symmetra is definitely solid on first point of King's Row, but it's tough because Genomic is kind of outgunned in this, and it's really about getting that first ultimate up. If you don't get up the teleporter really fast, it's kind of a wasted pick. Defense getting picked pretty hard here, just not a lot of topping off going out here. Jeff's pretty low, getting topped off, but Genomic dies in the process, and again, still only 60% on the teleporter, so pretty much a bad pick. The other problem is with only a Soul of Mercy, it's really tough to keep up the double Monkey, because Monkey does take up a lot of damage, and that's a lot of your healing resource right there. If you don't stay on top of it, you just get wiped out like this. And hey, look, they're wiped. So, GG. But yeah, double Monkey very questionable if you don't have double healer. You really gotta pair them together. Otherwise, your Mercy can't even heal anybody else, because double Monkey just takes way too much damage.
Genomic's gonna get the teleporter up here, but it's probably gonna die.
So
anyway.
it's worthless. It's
Yeah.
when they cap the point, the teleporter explodes. It does nothing. He didn't even get it up, so it's totally wasted pick. Again, like, if you can charge her ult very fast, it is a decent pick. If you can't do that, it's a dumpster spot. Pick a DPS, pick a second support, a real support. Don't pick Symmetra. Anyway, they're pretty much still sticking with their comp here, and, you know, Mopper's on fucking Reaper and Tox is on McCree, so this is just gonna be 7 ways of hilarious. High Noon going off from Tox here. Probably not really gonna get much with it, but picks off, yeah, whatever. A 1Z, but it doesn't really matter. They're having all the space and afford to blow them if they want to. Wasn't the best. Hammer coming out, Genomic getting slammed, picks up both
Slammed into his teleporter, yeah.
Yeah, slammed into his teleporter, so just straight charge in there. Valhalla goes out, so that's the res, and they immediately get picked off by Visor on top of that, so to be fair, good on them for immediately popping a DPS ult after the res. It's always what you want to be doing. Generally, if you guys really want to talk about a little bit of strategy there, you burn like 1, maybe 2 ults, but really you just want to use 1, get like a double pick, and then force the res out, and then just sweep them right after that, and they're fucked. The other alternative is also to pick off their Mercy, but against good players it's very difficult. Mercy is usually one of the last people to die unless they're bad. So,
Well, now they've got the point B, and they've, I think they're gonna probably get a push in.
I mean, they're just rolling on through here.
Yeah.
Like, Tehax is above them sniping in the snipe spot, but, like, you're only gonna do so much as a single fire
Heroes
poking
never
in the
die.
back, and
For a
Hopper getting
price.
picked off gets rezzed anyway by birds, so it's like, whatever.
Mopper's gonna try and ult here, I think.
A couple of decent picks from Tehax there, keeping them sort of alive. So it's whatever. Mopper actually does come behind and gets a pick on Cosimo, so that's decent. It's not a big, huge team wiping ult, but you really only have to pick the Mercy, and that's enough, so...
Yeah, they don't need much here to push it in.
Nope, they really don't. It's still, again, just want to point out, like, that flank of his in the ult, even though it looks like he got 1 kill, just the Mercy, it is still important. Tehax, last Desperation Barrage, just pick off 2, very solid from him. They might actually be able to hold off of that.
They've got Pharmacy going right now, too.
Yep. Finally, actually swapped to something decent. Tehax gets picked and immediately res by Cosimo. Should be able to hold this, although Tox with the High Noon in the back. Digging around too long, Tehax just easily picks him off, and they're able to hold with, like... Oh man, big... Oh no, not that big a pulse bomb, he only gets 1, never mind. Giggle's coming in with the cleanup visor, though. People are weak from the pulse bomb. Shadow's still cleaning up, too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna push it in here.
Load is last man standing, picks off
Oh,
both Giggles and
Genomic gets
Shadow
back
though.
in.
So yeah, that's it. They're able to hold still. Very, very tight fight here at the end though. Got to give credit to everybody there.
Fire at
Like
will.
Load carrying his team super hard by saving them there. But even Giggles and Shadow almost closing that out as well. So they are able to hold, but for how long? But yeah, give credit to Load since he just soloed like 3 people.
Get the one out and move this payload.
Anyway, Red needs to actually reorganize now. They're just getting picked off, just getting a couple picks there. Giggles counter killing Jeff, but it's pointless. They just have to regroup.
Yeah.
Bert died early in that fight, so they
Heroes never die.
Oh, that was
For
an
a
interesting res.
price.
So he basically saves them 10 seconds of run back for the res.
Yeah, and they're still waiting for the Reinhardt to get it back. So I mean,
Yeah, that was a pretty bad res, I think. He probably just saw the number and slammed it, but it's not very good.
Enemy contact.
So yeah, they won't have the res for the push right away because he'll only be at about 60% when they get in the thick of things. But
Mopper's trying to flank right now. He's gonna get picked off pretty quickly.
yeah, Mopper gets picked by Jeff, so pretty ineffective push here so
Tactical
far.
visor activated.
Visor goes out. I think that's pretty whatever.
Oh, good old there by Genomic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, those ults are really questionable when they're already a man down. Like, if you're a man down, you should just wait for him. You guys want to talk, like, some tactics and strategy. Don't just fucking throw your ults randomly when you get picked like that. Like, you own up to the fact that your flanker made a mistake. You wait for him to get back, then you pop your ult. You don't just, like, YOLO in your ult. Like, it's totally stupid. It's, I don't understand. They basically wasted a full minute off just wasting a couple ults right there.
Oh, and Bones gets another roll with no.
Load getting a 2 with a sort of failed wombo combo there, honestly. Their other ones have been much better. That was pretty failed. It still kind of stops their push because they got like a pick with those 2 ults, but ultimately it was a resource waste and Shadow picks off Load for it, so that's definitely a big win for Red right
Heroes
there.
never die. For a
Red's
price.
going out for Bird there, so Cosimo's res already used. It's going to be pretty even from here on out. So it's going to be about who gets decent picks. Trade right there, talks behind the payload, trying to get a high noon off, but it's not really going to get too much with that.
Cancel, you still got
Pretty-
57%.
Yeah, but it's totally wasted high noon. Just a lot of wasted hits here, honestly, on both sides. Pulse bomb going out, he sticks Jonald with it, so that's pretty good. That's going to be a nice pick in their advantage. Cosimo getting hit by the hammer and charged in, so yeah, that's really bad for them. Genomic with a very late barrier there and a knockoff, so yeah, pretty much that's going to be pretty hilarious. But again, to be fair, like, that's 2 minutes and 8 seconds left now on the timer, or Jesus, it's still counting down. Fucking A.
0.
That timer sucks.
Switching
Okay, so it's 2
sides.
minutes and 7 seconds remaining on the timer because it fucking just kept counting down, so whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter, there's a banner on there, we can all see it. But either way, like, that's 2 fucking extra minutes that they held, because even though Giggles and Shadowed were superheroes at the end, Load Runner was like a super duper hero.
Well, they got to the final checkpoint at about 6 minutes 40 seconds. So they held it for 4 minutes.
They were held for a good 4 minutes. It seems like Shadowed is making huge differences, but you have to understand something, Tag. Shadowed sucks. Like, that is all. Anyway, there will be no further discussion on the subject. So, the actual timer could be a little better. Yes, technically they capped in at 2:09. I saw that as well. It was the first number I called, and then it just kind of trickled down. The system kind of sucks. It's whatever. The game remembers as well, so we're totally fine there. It's not a big deal.
I'll enjoy the quiet while it lasts.
Yep, Load his bones broken. Sorry, it's too hard to keep track of everybody uses like a different fucking name, so I'm just gonna use whatever I've got. Like, you fucking people who have like 20 different names and shit, like, you can go fucking die. That's just wretched.
Uniformity between all platforms is key.
Zig Heil. I mean, wait. So anyway, pretty standard comp going out here from Red. Same thing they've been running, so pretty good choice. And actually a much more standard comp from Blue here. The only difference is that Genomic went ahead and went back on the Lucio and Cosimosa out on a McCree.
Well, Teax is no longer on Pharah.
Yep. went ahead and picked up a Reinhardt for them, so see how he does on it. Jonald just getting picked off right away by Shadowed, and Tox became another easy one on Genomic. Cosmo does at least go Shadowed, so they have a small chance here, but they're still down one, and being down your support so early really sucks. Mega with escape charge there, I guess. Like, Load kind of just soloing down 3 people on their team.
Yeah, he takes
Like,
down
Bird,
Bird.
Mopper, and Mega are all, like, there, just kind of sitting on Load doing nothing. That's pretty bad.
They're gonna get
And
the
Jeff
point
is
pretty
able
quickly.
to pick Mega, yeah. I mean, again, Load just doing super amounts of work for his team there. He took out 3 people by himself. It's ridiculous.
Shadow's stalling really well right now.
I mean, he's stalling. That's all Tracer can do. Like, he'll be dead in 2 seconds, but... The YOLO pulse bomb as he dies, though. Fucking Hell's Heart, I stab at thee. I'm going down and you guys are taking the point, but I'm still getting 3 of you because lol.
Ooh, and Mega
That
gets
was
in
a
there.
totally good pulse bomb, by the way. I'm not making fun of him at all. Like, it was a good play because it gave his team a chance to maybe, like, Hail Mary it. And it's just hilarious to kill 3 people, so whatever. But anyway, easy point take from them. Again, Jeff did pick 2 there, but it was easy picks because people had their backs to a Reaper. It was all because Load distracted 3 people and picked a Mercy on top of that. If you have 2 supports and your Reinhardt sitting there, like, and 1 Zarya stomps all over you guys, that's just not good. Talks with a high noon, picks off Jonald, so, you know, another 1 ulter there. A lot of 1 ulters in these games, honestly, and sometimes a 1 ulter is okay, other times it's just kind of like, okay, you killed 1 person and they're still shoving the payload, so like, we're good with that too.
They've got 3 on the payload right now, and but they've got a good flank here up top that Jiggles might be able to get some work out of.
So John picking off Shadows, so not too much flanking support, and then Giggles comes in with a visor and picks off Genomic. Genomic pretty much always getting kicked off here. Losing his support really just sucks. Mega killing Taehax, but Cosmo evening it out, so they're still pretty much holding at this
Heroes
point.
never die.
Alright, Red's coming out though, and Grab right on top of that, so that's gonna be real bad for them. They don't have any like quick bursty DPL assaults to follow up though, so not nearly as much work as they could have gotten. Pulse Bomb, mostly a whiff, did a little bit of damage, but not a lot beyond that.
What would you think would be a better burst option here? Pharah, maybe?
I mean, yeah, I think you should go to Pharah. Like, I'm sure he feels obligated to play the Reinhardt for whatever reason on his team, but they need that kind of coordinated burst.
Yeah.
Like, their coordination is the best by far on their team. They don't have anybody else who's good at coordinating. Like, there's nothing wrong with a grab bomb into a recoil. That's just as effective, but they don't have the same synergy. Like, Load and Taehax have the best synergy out of any pair in the tournament. So you're just not going to get anywhere if you get great grab bombs and you don't do anything with it. Yes, Tig's in the chat, but if he ever whiffs a grab bomb, even if he picks up 4 people with it, I'll yell at him if there isn't a DPS ult to go with it. It's not useful. You need to combo them.
Blue's got a couple good ults here. If they can get a combo.
Yeah,
out of them.
they're even on time, and Red got held ridiculously hard at this last point. So all Blue has to do is essentially not suck as bad, and they easily win this one. So they've got 1 chance here to wipe them. And
Mega goes in, but he's probably
that's game. Jeff just went in the back and murdered both supports. It's already over. You don't even come back from that. Like, it's done. No amount of heroing from their DPS is going to save you when you lose both supports like that.
Talk's gonna get picked off here too, but he trades off with Jeff.
It doesn't
who
matter. Bird
stalls.
doesn't even have a res up, so they're not doing
Bird
shit.
was getting killed very quickly here.
Yeah. I give credit to Mopper, he did knock Taehax away there from the charge and save Bird for all of like 3 extra seconds, but yeah.
Shadow gets back in and he's on Reinhardt now.
I mean, they're just desperation stalling at this point. Might as well 6 D.Va strat this, but it doesn't matter. They're just gonna roll in with ults and crush them, so.
Yeah.
Again, like,
Come here, get
in the back, you lose both supports, you have no res, like, let me just talk about my cat or something, like, it's over. So, yeah. Anyway, credit to Load's team, they rocked him there, so that's a 2-1 for Load.
Yeah.
And good on them, but hey, at least Nicholas's team takes 1. Good scores, friends, points, and things. Yeah, you should have probably let him watch play the game, but whatever.
It would have gone and done the.
Oh right,
round
the
robin
stupid
together,
point
yeah.
overtime shit. I forgot about that. Yeah. Noodles does own. She was actually like casting for half of it because she kept walking in front of my monitor.
Alright, so we've got a new standings now. Amazing Jerk Sprayed and Broadhog are tied at 5 points for first place. Precision Jerks Engineering is at 3 for third, the final playoff spot. And Cheers Love is at 2 with We're All Jerks Now, and it's still at 0. The next game will be tomorrow night between...
Between, we apparently have no idea. I think it's Sushi and Regen or something, but yeah,
We're
anyway.
All Jerks Now and Cheers Love, yeah.
Yep, so Sushi's team and Regen's team tomorrow. Hope you guys had fun watching and shit. I'm gonna go be a Space Ninja, but definitely tune in tomorrow because I think... Who's actually casting tomorrow? It's like you and Vect or something?
Vect and Bacon.
Oh, Vect and Bacon. Oh yeah, definitely tune in for some elite controller strats, guys.
Yep.
We will definitely be going into really deep controller strategy and how a controller makes you a better player at whatever fucking MMR this is. So definitely stay tuned for that because holy shit, it's yeah, it's really insightful commentary and stuff and Space Ninjas. See you later, guys.
Thanks all for watching. Have a good night.